This is a unique shop in that it has survived the way it has. The power system is very, very unusual. It was a shop that began in the 1880s doing general machine work in the Bellevue, Iowa area, and they also made lots of castings. There are surviving patterns that you can actually see the castings all over Bellevue of the products of this shop. When the Brandts acquired the shop in 1902, they began to use this as a place to assemble these new types of two-cycle marine engines that they became famous for making. And the shop is very, very interesting because it is a small, general-purpose job machine shop. The tools in here were used to make individual parts. The craftsmen had to be highly skilled in order to run them, and the accuracy of these machines was very extreme. For example, most of these lathes in here could turn things to within an accuracy of 1/1000th of an inch. The average human hair is about 3/1000th of an inch thick. So that gives you some notion of the accuracy that was required for this kind of work. The machines are all belt-driven because prior to the introduction of electric motors, the only ways you could run machines like this were two. You could run it with something like an engine, like we are here, a water wheel, but the only other way you could run it was with muscle power. These machines are called engine lathes, for example, because they ran off of a central steam engine. And the belt system was used to distribute the power from that power source to the individual machines. The individual machines could be turned on and off at will using a device called a shipper lever that moved the belts from an idling position to a powered position. The machinery here ranges from as early as 1855 or 1860 up to about 1915. So there's a wide range of machines. The one thing about the Brandts that's very interesting was they were very frugal, they were very innovative in what they did, they were developing a new type of power source for boats, and they needed to have the machinery to be able to do that. We have an 1855 vintage lathe that has got a tool pulse grinder on it that was electrically operated. It was probably built in the 1920s. And the whole question of why we preserve history at all is to give us a sense of where we've come from, where we're going as a society. Isaac Newton once made the comment, he said, "If I have seen far, it is because I am standing on the shoulders of giants." And the fact of the matter is the people in shops like this created the modern world. I think that if you get a sense of what people were able to do with metalworking in the 19th century and early 20th century, it gives you a sense of what you can do innovatively today. Machine shops are still places where a lot of creative work is done. It requires a high degree of skill, it requires a high degree of patience, and a high degree of intelligence to be able to use these machines properly. This took a real leap of faith on the part of the museum to say, we're going to invest a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of resources in making this happen. And I'm so proud of the museum for doing that, because museums are only important in that they are relevant to people today. This museum is a wonderful combination of natural history, the history of the Dubuque area and of Iowa in general, and now working in the direction of understanding about interactive, hands-on experiences and getting people involved with thinking with their hands as well as with their heads. So I think this is a wonderful, wonderful project.